et en RDC. Soyons connectés avec l'excellente musique congolaise. Suivons des moments de joie et d'amour avec les fêtes de mariage et d'anniversaire. Nourrissons notre foi en Dieu avec les services de prière et de culte. Suivons l'histoire du Congo et les documentaires des Congolais. Soyons connectés sur les actualités des filles et des fils du pays partout dans le monde. Découvrons des émissions de qualité, partageons notre savoir. Nous sommes à votre disposition pour vos émissions en direct de notre studio, dans vos églises et même dans vos maisons. Appelez-nous sur notre numéro WhatsApp. Boss Brothers TV, tout le monde en parle.
Hi, welcome back to Accompanied by Jess, and as you already know, my name is Jess and I'm back here again on the same platform of SEPELATV, Boss Brothers TV. I'm so happy to be here again next week with you all again. Thank you so much for your consistent support and for tuning in again as usual. Of course, as you already know, this platform here is to discuss the deep, delicate matters of young people of our generation, things that they cannot express, things that they cannot talk about. As you already know, due to the sensitivity of these stories, I do not conceal their names, I do not disclose their names, but I actually cover for them. Today, I have a very special story for you. It's about a young man, and I'm so excited to share this story and to also give out some words of advice. So today's actually a story about a man named Russell. Russell is actually a young man. He lives actually in the United Kingdom. Some elements of information I will disclose because of the fact that they are comfortable with me disclosing this, but he's from the UK. He's actually he's been just broken up with his girlfriend recently and has actually been asking me a series of questions via email as to what he should do regarding the moving on from his girlfriend. So a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago, last month their daughter turned 4. They had a daughter, him and his girlfriend. Unfortunately, within the last couple of months, they had broken up due to the fact that the girlfriend does not want to be with him. He says that he has no issue to some extent with it, but he does desire to be with her again. So he's just explaining, you know, for the past 4 years, they've been together. For the past year, it's been really rocky between the two of them. He is a football trainer and he's a father, and he's trying his best to keep matters going on. So just to go deeper into his story now, as he was disclosing to me via email, he did explain to me that he was with his girlfriend for the past 4 years. Within those 4 years, they had their child. Well, they had their child. I believe that they started going out once the child was born. So for the past 4 years, the child was there. He is a football trainer and he's been having issues financially being able to provide for his family. So providing for his ex-girlfriend and his child, his daughter. Unfortunately for him, they were living together, but now since the breakup, he's had to move out and has struggled to actually move into anywhere. So he's struggled to move into anywhere, and he's been having issues even with his own family members, as they do not necessarily accept him easily. One of his main concerns is that he doesn't have a British nationality. So he's not actually born in the UK. He hasn't been able to get British nationality. He's actually from the Caribbean, and he's struggling in that department. So despite his fitness training, despite he has his permit to stay, but soon it will be expiring, and he's concerned that he will not be able to stay with his daughter and his ex-girlfriend in order to help them manage. However, what he wants to actually get help from is that since him and his ex-girlfriend have actually split up, his previous partner have split up, she's been going to church more, and she's actually been more devoted to the house of God. And he finds concerns whereby now she's about to date she started speaking to a new person, so started dating again. He doesn't know whether he's accepting of that, and he doesn't feel comfortable with the fact that she's gone off and started dating. His main concern is about who's around his daughter. However, he says that he does feel jealous and would love to be back with his ex-partner and find ways to arrange and make the relationship work. Unfortunately, this hasn't been necessarily the case with her. She said that since she's given her life over to Christ, he doesn't necessarily correlate or match the lifestyle that she wants to portray or give to the daughter. And of course, he's very understanding of it, but he doesn't want to let the relationship go. He kind of wants that the family unity and the unity to come together. However, for himself, he's also Muslim. So this is where the climax and everything increases within their household, because it puts the child in between based off religion, and also based off the fact that she's now ready to move on with somebody else, or she's looking to move on completely. She's opened up the door to start dating new people. They've had many quarrels where he himself has said he's become quite paranoid, because he's concerned that she will bring somebody that could abuse her and abuse a child. So he's just actually asked me for a bit of advice and a bit of help on what he should do as a father, and even as a previous partner who wants to get his girlfriend back, and what should happen. I believe one of the recent incidents, as he's spoken, because their breakup was, it's been a rocky road for the past year. They've broken up quite recently. Their recent argument was on the fact that, of this person that's actually been invited into the home. So he must have entered into his ex-girlfriend's house where he was previously staying, and some of these things are still there. And she had already invited a new person into the house, her new, somebody she's just dating. It wasn't necessarily dating in terms of they're in a stable relationship, but just dating, getting to know one another. And he was in the house as well as his daughter. He's walked in now. They're conversing on the couch, and their daughter's obviously walking around, and she's in and out of the other bedrooms. And he's walked in to see there's another man in the house. Of course, this person, the guy that she's now talking to, doesn't know who he is, and kind of is taken by surprise that he just actually has the house key and opens the door. Unfortunately, that didn't end necessarily the best, because as soon as he walked in and saw his ex-girlfriend's partner, or I don't know, I'll just call him a partner, his partner, he basically got onto a very he got very agitated. And the two of them basically had knocked head and were arguing very, very vigorously. It nearly got physical within the house, as he was not he did not want another man around his daughter that he doesn't know, he's never spoken to. Of course, I said before, the mother has just started dating, has just started to already move on, and she's decided to talk to somebody. Of course, they've had issues where he doesn't agree with some of the rules, where she's bringing the man into the house before meeting him. However, his ex-girlfriend has issues with this, because she says that because you're not living in the house, you're not obliged to know. So this is where there's a rocky road. Of course, with the expiry of his stay in the UK, he's trying to find a way to settle. He's trying to look for ways to get his documents through. So the pressure is extremely, extremely high. Now, I just want to first of all say thank you for sharing such a deep, deep story. I believe and I know that many people are going through this situation, especially when it comes to relationships, their permit to stay or their documents to stay within the UK. And especially now, because the laws have been changing, it is much more difficult for you to stay settled. I want to actually say thank you for your honesty in terms of how you've been feeling towards, your ex-partner, her dating, and all these things that you actually opened up to say. And I must say, honestly, thank you so much for your honesty. Even if some areas it's just like, this is a bit overprotective, and other areas it's completely, you have a complete say. Now, I just want to quickly go into, your topic of how you feel as an individual and what your desires are in terms of, first of all, you wanting to be with your previous partner. Now, this is something that I don't condone. I don't condone you wanting to be with your partner because you want your daughter to grow up in a household whereby, both parents are there, she's seeing, her father and mother getting along, and you know, they're working as one, and she sees this happy family. I do believe that the intentions are right and the intentions are great. However, in this day and age, we must come to an understanding. Why are you staying with her? Is it because you just want it for your daughter? You know, is it truly that you really love her, despite you say you still have emotions and feelings? You know, there's been battles between the two of you. She looks like she's ready to move on. So she's had enough on her end. I do want you just to take that time to think to yourself, is this something you want to do? And I do believe that you cannot force a relationship with somebody who doesn't want it. You know, your partner needs to want it as much as you do, or the person you're approaching needs to want it as much as you do. And I do believe that, you know, for the past 4 years, it has been a rocky road, and the past year has been really, really tough. For you to reach already a breaking point, it is definitely something to consider. However, going into now, you know, the relationship with your ex-partner, now dating new men, and she's bringing men into the house. I do 100% agree with you. Personally, for me, you know, if you're a mother, you've got a child, you know, it's not just any man you can bring into the house, or somebody you're just getting to meet or getting to know. It is a very dangerous game, especially if they know your location, they know things about you. I do believe that you are in a position, not entirely everyone, but especially if you've just come out of a breakup, it is under probably 6 to 8 months. Probably there's elements of vulnerability depending on yourself. And I do believe that if you've just broken up with the father of your child, who you've been in such a long, I wouldn't say a long-term relationship, because 3 years may be long in some people's eyes, maybe not be, but 3 years is quite a while. I do believe that, you know, take some time out to also understand your daughter, understand your partner now, because you can't just move on and date because you want to do it just because it's you. You have a child now, you have, you know, the other parent who's co-parent with you. So I do believe in your advice. I do believe in where you say you want to have a say. You don't just want any man around the house or around her. You know, it will be disrespectful if tomorrow you walk into the house and your daughter's speaking of another man and she's already calling him daddy rather than calling you daddy. It is a painful game, you know, to have to get to that stage. I do agree. I do 100% agree. But due to the fact of the matter that she doesn't necessarily want to be with you again, she started dating. I believe the best thing to do is probably change your approach towards her now. Sometimes you just have to be the bigger person, know how to understand the person, observe the person, take your time, settle down, you know, clear everything, put aside everything that you both have gone through, and kind of put your child first, probably in the conversation. I do believe that now she's taken on her new walk as a Christian, which is a completely different thing for yourself. She started going to church. I'm very sure that her approach, if it's genuine, if she's genuinely given herself, her approach to how you come to her and how you speak to her will change. She may not be as resistant as probably she were before. So, you know, change your approach, sit her down, talk to her, you know, probably take her out for dinner or lunch. Explain to her it's nothing to do with a relationship, nothing to do with you both getting back, but it's more so to do with your child. Also, despite as young as your child is, observe your child. You know, as parents, we need to observe even more. Okay, what would she be like if she's, you know, paying close attention to her reactions since this person has come into her mother's life that's not her father? How does she respond to this man? How do they get along? Is she very does she seek a lot of attention from this man? Does she not speak to this man? Does this man scare her? What's his aura? You need to take time to assess this person. I do believe even for your ex-partner, she also needs to assess the man that she's bringing around her child. Anything could happen. Anything. Your last pointer, I believe one of the last pointers is you're struggling also in terms of finances and your nationality to stay in the UK. I believe that's one of the most scary aspects, and I must say, like, it hasn't been easy for you, especially in this past year that you've explained yourself. It hasn't been easy. You know, breaking up, being in a position where you're practically homeless, instability with the relationship of with your child, instability with the relationship with your previous partner, and now your nationality and work. It is not easy. Stay as optimistic as you can, and I promise you, have faith. That's the only thing I can install in you right now, especially in this predicament. Have faith. You don't have necessarily close family members, or there's always battles and quarrels between family members. What I would the advice I would give you personally, despite your quarrels, if you know that there's been an issue between you and your family members, and it's due to the fact that, you know, probably due to the fact that maybe work is not going well for you, maybe they don't like your previous partner, only God knows, I don't know what it is. Try your best to look for peace in every way. I believe that looking for peace in every way will close every door that can allow anything negative to come in. So seeking peace with everyone, I believe in this predicament that you are going through a hard time, look for peace with everyone. So whoever that was your closest family member that you don't talk to, that you believe that, okay, the relationship is mendable, that the relationship, you know, can come together, begin to work that relationship out. It is tough. Begin to work that relationship out. Explain your situation to that person. If you can see that they are understanding, despite there may be, you know, incidents where they may backbite you, but explain your situation, your circumstances, what you're going through, and explain that you also have a child. I do believe that they that are older should be more understanding. I believe a person with a genuine heart, a genuine place, will be very understanding to your predicament, because it is not easy. In terms of documents, nationality, also ask those that have gone, you know, they've come from back home and they've come here and they understand the legal papers and what the procedures are. I do believe you have even knowledge yourself. Do some research from family members. If you do not have family members, seek out for somebody that will assist you. I do believe that, you know, your daughter's family, in terms of her mother's side, is now your family, irrespective of the situations that have happened. If you find that somebody, even on your previous partner's side of the family, that can assist you, help you, and work with you, latch onto them. And of course, be as supportive as you can. Financially, it is hard, I understand, but I do believe for now, if the fitness thing isn't working, look for something that will help you pull the weight. Start to look for a second job. Start to look for a way that you can earn money, even if it's a small business. Whatever inspiration you get, start. But my main belief is that in this whole predicament that you're going through, your state of mind and your state of mind and psychologically what you are thinking is the most important. Is the most important out of it all. Remain optimistic at all times, even when it gets tough. Remain as optimistic as you can be. Remain as optimistic as you can be. See always the positive and literally try cut it out. It is something that is going to train you, but I believe that every season that every person goes through is a season for them to develop their inner man, their inner character. Optimism. And then 2, what can you do differently? Look at ways that you can change yourself. I believe so strongly in the quote of be the change that you want to see. So adapt yourself, change yourself to become a better person. If it means becoming a better person in terms of reading books, read the correct books. Look at people that have gone through the same situations as you, through books, through testimonies. Look at their circumstances and literally see how you can make your story better. I believe even in your fitness, you will be able to blow. You'll be able to become a better father. And I'm very sure that your previous partner might have picked on that area. You're not financially giving. You know, this area makes you feel as less of a man. This actually is this last bit of advice I'm going to give out is generally to all the females and all the women out there, young, old, whatever you are, whether you're in a relationship or not. If you have a male figure in your family, or a male that you are, like, you know, a man you're dating, your husband, your partner, whoever this person is, especially if they are genuine, they are trying, they are in your life, they're doing the best they can to build a relationship with yourself, or with, you know, for those who have partners, you know, and you have children with your with this person, do not crush that person's dreams. Do not crush that person's hope. I believe something that women especially need to learn is that you cannot crush a man's hope like that. When you begin to say that a man is less of a man, you crush everything within him. You know, the power of life and death is within the tongue. You know, and they that love it will eat of its fruits. I believe that you can build somebody through what you say, and you can kill somebody through what you say. You need to be cautious, especially of the person that you have gone out, you have had a child with, you know, what you can actually do to them. It is understandable, but not correct, if the person isn't doing anything to resolve anything in your life or in your child's life. However, if you are seeing that this person is making a genuine effort to be there and to help in any way that he can financially, by being as supportive as a person, by giving off their time. Time is even more valuable. By giving off their time, I do strongly believe that in that predicament and in that moment, you should at least acknowledge that and uplift them and encourage them as possible, because there are not genuine men out there. Not everyone's genuine. There are not all genuine men. Let me be honest, let me be real. There are not. However, if you do have one that's treating you well, you do have one that makes the effort, that sits there, that actually tolerates some of the behavioral characteristics that you have, that's patient to be there with you, I'm telling you now, you should appreciate that person and encourage them. Build, especially if you have a child, build. There are many cases and many stories that I've heard, which is the flip side. The mother's trying to move on, she's making a living, the father doesn't want to contribute to anything, the father doesn't care. You know, and especially the black male, if the father's not there in the life of with the mother, then they're not helping the child, they're not doing anything. Any black male mothers like that. However, women, if you do not have that kind of guy with you, if you do not have that kind of person, trust me, lift up this man, encourage him in every way possible. You may not want a relationship with him for whatever so reason, but encourage him. So I believe you know, this is everything that I can give to you today. So I'm just going to briefly say it. One, you know, speak to your partner, change your approach, and talk to her about, you know, you and your child, explaining the procedures of co-parenting, what is expected despite you're not there, to at least have a standard respect. Two, keep yourself as optimistic as possible. Read books, you know, mentally train yourself, emotionally train yourself. Read books. Begin to build relationship with those that are around you, that you can see that, okay, I can genuinely get help to push me in this direction. You know, there is always somebody there to help you in your inner circle. You may not know it. Somebody is there. Fix the relationships with all the people that you have probably broken with, especially in this time, and have a lot of faith. Believe that you're not going to just stay where you are, but that you're going to grow, you're going to blossom, you're going to go far. So thank you so much for sending your story, and thank you for all of you who have tuned in. It is a pleasure to actually be on this platform again with all of you. I'm so thankful to have you on this platform of Accompanied by Jess. If you have a story that you want to share, please do not hesitate to email me at accompaniedbyjess@gmail.com. I am more than happy to hear your story. I will definitely be back here on this platform on the Boss Brothers TV at 6 p.m. every Friday on the same place. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Boss Brothers TV, désormais sur satellite et en RDC. Soyons connectés avec l'excellente musique congolaise.